Wow, that was so ignorant. I don't even know. I swear, I don't even know what happened. App stopped and then my video stopped as well. That's the first time that happened. I'm deleting that the entire Google whatever that is because that just like really just got up under my skin. Now I have to upload two videos. I mean, two more. So moving along, I didn't really have, I didn't really feel free as I mentioned prior to. Okay, now we moving along and discussing more about the lifestyle, how it was. Oh, I forgot to mention regarding the diet. There were days that people were unable to eat salt, like Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday were days we weren't able to eat salt. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday were the days that we were able to eat salt. And then every season, like when the season changed, there will be 1 week without sugar, followed by another week of live foods, meaning food that aren't cooked. Like you cannot cook any food. You eat live food, and it was a way that they prepared it. You know what I'm saying? And kind of very different. But that was a lifestyle regarding the food. You know, to my advantage, I learned how to cook from scratch. You understand? So I learned how to cook from scratch, and not just everyone. If you grew up a member of the community, you don't know how to cook. Look, that's a shame. You know what I'm saying? And you have people who really don't know how to cook, but we're not even going to discuss that. We're not going to discuss that right now, right? Like my mother, I couldn't stand her cooking. No, I'm gonna talk about that cooking. Her cooking tastes like her spirit off. I couldn't stand her cooking. It was so disgusting. Everything she touched was disgusting. It's like you can't get nothing right. You cannot get anything right, damn it. A pot of soup. How do you mess up a pot? How do you not know how to make a pot of soup? And it tastes good. I mean, the seasonings that was added was just disgusting. It's like, and then once later on in life, once I found out who she was really, it made sense why her food was so, it never lined up. It never tasted, never tasted right. You know what I'm saying? It was just always, I hated it. I hated everything about her cooking. To this very day, I do not eat her food. Well, I don't even communicate with her, but I stopped eating her food a long time ago. But yeah, her food was very disgusting, and it makes sense because of who she is. You understand? When you're off, so does everything you touch, and that was her. Everything she touched. She would do arts and crafts, and she was into arts and crafts. I don't even know how I started talking about her, but anyway, she was into arts and crafts again. But she was she had this little business that it ain't go nowhere, never went anywhere. A business called it was like a business within the community just to keep funds in her pocket, I guess. But it really didn't go anywhere. But junior handcrafts, something like that. Junior handcrafts. She would have the children working with her and shit like things like that. And she would make dolls as well. I hated the dolls. Come to find out, those probably voodoo dolls with her wicked ass. But we ain't even gonna discuss that right now. They're probably voodoo dolls. She probably put something inside them dolls to hex the guests that will come. But anyway, I think that she really got in that area of crafts. It was like it was a smokescreen for her to munch off of other people's abundance who were coming to the community. You know what I'm saying? She would tell her sob story and they give her donations and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just everything she did was intentional. strictly for her own benefits and to manipulate. She manipulated people. She manipulated people closest to her, her own flesh and blood. I'm not the only one she manipulate my family too, but that brainwash shit, it faded out with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm too strong for that shit. Come back. Come at me again, bro. You know what I'm saying? Come correct. So she manipulate people who are weak-minded, who has mental illnesses as well, who has physical illnesses. She used them, manipulate them through magic and all that kind of shit to get what she wants. Whatever that is. 99.9% of the time, it's money. She's thirsty for money. She has no luck when it comes to money. So she uses people around her for that exact reason. I like how I did that. Okay, let me stop. But yeah. Okay. So how I got there, don't know. But let's get back on track, okay? That was the diet we spoke about. We spoke about the dress code. Oh, let me speak about how it was for me in the dress code. Okay, first of all, the way my mom would dress us, we weren't raised like princesses. First of all, I was very tom girlish. That is in the word, so please don't even go trying to look that up. But I was a tomboy, tom girl, however you want to put it. I was very in tune with my masculine, with my masculine side. I was very in tune with my masculinity rather than my feminine. Yeah. So I was a tomboy regardless. Everything I saw boys doing, I wanted to do. Where the boys were, I was. And it wasn't in the sense of me trying to look for trouble or things like that. I just felt much more comfortable in the presence of boys. I just felt much more like I fit in. You understand? Whereas with girls, they would do all that prissy stuff, and it's like, yeah. It's like, nah, that's not for me. So I was more into playing sports. I play to this very day. Name a sport, basketball, soccer, baseball, basketball, soccer, baseball. Football is one I don't play because it's like way too much violent. And look, somebody bump against me too hard. Look, you bump against me, period. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get heated. Like, we gonna throw hands. So that's how I was. So I was never really into football. You know what I'm saying? So football, no, I was not into. What other sports? Swimming. I think. Well, I said every sport. Like I'm just. Oh, I was into track and field as well. I was actually on the baseball team when I was like 15. Probably younger than that. Yeah. I was on the baseball team and I was a little shorty too, but because I was a little shorty and things like that, I was just cute, I used to hold the bench down on the side. I did my thing, I did my thing, But that's what I did for the most part. I was on the bench. Yeah. Keeping the bench from flying up. Because look, somebody got to sit on the bench, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got to take that. Look, first of all, I'm tired of everybody trying to, make it seem like it's all negative and shit like that. Look, because look, if it wasn't for me sitting on that bench where I was, that bench would have flew up and would have hit everybody in the audience. I mean, look, they had it coming, all right? I know it, man. I felt it. So I just felt like, it was my place to sit on the bench and keep that shit from happening, So, yeah, I did that. I was on the bench. I kept it warm. I would clean it here and there, make sure everything's all right. Yeah, kept, kept it mellow. But anyway, I was never chosen really. Like I probably played like 5 games I can't remember, and that was only like when the main players were, there was a situation with them. So I was really never chosen to do anything. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't chosen to do nothing. In school, I wasn't chosen to speak on any. I was never chosen to do anything. It's like why don't they ever choose me to do X, Y, and Z? To do this and do that. I would love to do this. I would love to do that. Or it just I was never chosen to. But that's that. Um. So we are moving on. Music. They created their own rhythm, their own rhythm and their own sound, music and things like that, musically. Um, they created their own sound, their own music, and there were certain days like we could not listen to worldly music. Okay, so from Sunday until Wednesday night, we were unable to listen to worldly music, just the music that the people of the community would make, would create. We were able to listen to that. And honestly, like that music back then sucked, because I was like, I loved the music, but it's like I didn't like that kind of music. That music never resonated with me. It never resonated with me. There's no soul. There's no, not all, but 99.9. I didn't really like it, and I didn't like the fact that we would be pressured to listen to a certain sound, because everybody's soul has a different frequency that it resonates with. You understand what I'm saying? And those frequencies did not resonate with me at all. At all. So I didn't like it. So from Wednesday night until Sunday night, it was worldly music or whatever you want to listen to. Okay? Now, when it comes down to the religion, their religion is on biblical, is based on the Old Testament, the biblical Old Testament. And honestly, so they follow a lot of those rules. The New Testament with Jesus and things like that, they did not follow. So all rules that relates to the Old Testament was pretty much a lifestyle that they lived. So the holidays included. You understand? There were different holidays. Let's say the children of Israel, when they crossed over with that, well, that never happened, but we're going to definitely discuss the history of what really actually occurred. But the children of Israel crossing over to the Holy Land, and they had a whole entire holiday, surrounding that. The story with Moses and all of that. And there were other different, biblical holidays that they celebrated or whatnot. But each holiday was, it was different guidelines regarding this holiday based on what was written in the Bible. Like certain holidays you weren't able to use electricity. Certain holidays you weren't able to cook. And sunset of each holiday, there was always a convocation. We call it holy convocation, meaning there was a gathering when everyone come together, and then the priesthood gave a teaching about that particular holiday and things as such. Right? So I couldn't stand that. And after that particular ceremony, then families, will go home, and then they'll eat They will eat a dinner meal as a collective. You know, they will eat supper as a collective. And sometimes we would have company that would come over and things as such. I kind of did like, not really, but there was always like, even during the times that I would find happiness, or that I did smile. It's like there was still that emptiness, that darkness, like, you know, it was still that darkness. So a part of, another thing that is very that plays a very huge major role in their religion as well is divine merit. They call it divine merit. I'm sorry, I did not try to chuckle. They call it divine merit. Okay, divine marriage, what they mean by that is pretty much, polygamy. You know, you can have more than one wife. A man is allowed to have up to 7 wives. I'm not even going to discuss polygamy, and my stance on it right now, but really, like, just think about that. Look at a woman. All it takes to deal with a woman, to love a woman, to care for a woman. One, to make that woman happy. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot. And there you are. There they are. You know what I'm saying? Talking about you can have more than one wife. You can have up to 7 wives. Look, a lot of men weren't able to even maintain their first. And that is why there are lots of broken families today. That was done out of greed. You know, it was a lot of greed in that. Greed and lust. You know, it's like it was not done for the right purposes. Or for, it just was not done for the right purposes. You understand? And me, myself, I've seen these, I've seen many families, where they will end up splitting because the responsibility is just so overwhelming that, the entire family dynamic, the foundation crumbles. You understand? So it's like you cannot build on a faulty foundation. And a lot of men will build on a faulty foundation, which was lust. You know what I'm saying? Lust for another woman or things like that. And a lot of women got their hearts broken. A lot of women got their hearts broken. And a lot of children as well. But when I look at that, right, from a spiritual standpoint, how is it possible? Or how could you be so sure? This was like, I'm telling you, as a young girl, I would think, how could you be so sure that your true soulmate is a member of this community? How could you be so sure? So it was always something about that would make me think, like, it's like as I gotten older, I began to like really understand. I knew as I got older, I said, there's no way in hell my soulmate is in this community. And that's when I got old enough to leave. So there's no point in me being here, and I'm not about to try to drag someone else to be a part of this chaos. You understand? So I did not only leave because I longed for my soulmate, but I left because, like, I chose a different path, the path of spirituality, because it resonated with me. more. Now I didn't know that, I didn't really choose the path of spirituality, but I chose the path of my calling, which led me to where I am now. It's like, look, I don't know where y'all going with this. I was speaking to the creator, like, I don't know where you're going with this, but I'm ready. And I did not have an instruction book or what to do or how to do things or where to go. No, I learned by making mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I learned by the many mistakes that I've made, and I've also learned by following my intuition. My intuition played a major role. You understand? It played a major role because I began to see, like, okay, so it's like, man, I had a feeling not to do that. You know what I'm saying? I had a feeling I shouldn't go there. Or I had a feeling I shouldn't, do this and that. Then I did it and then I failed. And it's like, okay, next time I had that feeling, I'm not going to do that. You understand? So it's like I began to learn from my mistakes. And also, what played a major role is that when it's like my mistakes were the answer to the questions that I would have later on in life. Not the mistakes, but the lesson that I've learned from that mistakes will be the very answer that I would need that following day or later on in life. You understand? So that's how my life pretty much unfolded, and I would see that, like, wow, that's deep. Like, man, if had I not experienced that, you know what I'm saying, I would have like really messed this up, or I would have really X, Y, and Z. So my intuition played a major role. You understand? And that's when I began to follow my heart. But even then, although I knew how I knew how to follow my intuition, I still allowed people to walk over me or to manipulate me. It's like, bro, I was sit there like, look, I know you full of bullshit. You understand? And it's like, why am I even here? Why am I even doing this? Why am I even with these people? Like, why am I even hanging with these people? Why am I even, it's like, I just knew. But still, I guess for the experience. And that became a major role too. I became thrilled with new experiences. I don't care where I'm going. I can get on a bus today, right, to no man's land and be so excited. Like, look, be so excited about, excuse me, be so excited about where this experience is leading me to. No matter how bad the situation was or how good this situation was, I learned to adapt. And then I developed a curiosity to what this means. Hey, why am I experiencing this? Why am I why this happened? Oh, I wonder what's about to happen now. Like, even my experience when I went to prison, even my prison experience, baby, I learned to adapt. I've been in prison. I've been in a women's shelter as well. But my prison experience it's like those were the two facilities that I've been in my lifetime. I've been in prison and I've been to a women's shelter for battered women, 2016. So even then, I still had this curiosity, like, what lies next? Like, I'm already in prison, right? And it's like, oh, they told me that in 2 weeks, you get transferred to the actual women's prison. And I would just think like, ooh, I wonder who I'm going to meet. I wonder what kind of food they get. You know what I'm saying? How it look. And it was like, I was just always curious. But I was curious from a standpoint of what I'm going to learn, what I'm going to experience, what lies next. And I've just always had that excitement. So it's like during every situation, I learned how to adapt. I'm a chameleon. I don't talk to everybody the same way or think. No. I'm a chameleon. I know how to adapt. I know how to talk to different people to get to certain people, depending on who you are. I just know how to adapt. So I can. It's like I know how to to to. I know how to be in certain situations around certain groups, around every group. You understand? Even the wealthy, baby. You understand? It's like it. I just know how to adapt. I've learned to maneuver through life by adapting, just allowing things to flow. I learned to roll with the flow. I sure did. And I enjoyed it. Even the ugly, even the times that I would be depressed, it's like I would allow myself to feel my way through it. I understood that there was something that was hurting me. I allowed myself to be hurt. I allowed myself to cry. And then after, I would pick myself up. I will put on my favorite music, and then I will visualize my successful life. That right there is what kept me going a hell of a lot of times and got me out of depression. Was being able to visualize my future of success, fulfillment, abundance, love, family, happiness, harmony, peace, joy. That right there, that vision, those visions, those dreams is what kept me going. It's like I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get it. I would literally visualize myself being already achieving these things and feeling how I will feel once I've achieved that which I desire. Not knowing that I was manifesting my future. And I've been doing this from early, let's say like teen years. First of all, I've been a dreamer since I was a child. But not knowing that my entire life, I've been planting seeds of manifestation. Not knowing that I am an alchemist. Not knowing that I am the alchemist of my life. That I can manifest the life that I want. I didn't know that. Well, like no one told me. No one told me. They wanted me to believe that it was impossible. But I believed. For some strange reason, I just had that intuitive feeling like, my life is going to be like this. I'm going to be like this. I'm going to be, I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that. I'm going to do this for people. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to be a legacy. Like, from childhood, bruh. From childhood. So as I got older, I used that as a tool to come out of depression, or I use it as a tool to keep me going, keep me moving forward in life. Because that was my light. That has always been my light at the end of the tunnel. It's fulfillment. Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical fulfillment in all aspects of my life has become my ultimate tool to keep me moving forward. I didn't allow anyone to walk over my dreams. Look, they tried. And it's like, look, you better shut up. I don't even want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't make any sense why you would tell me something is impossible when you haven't even tried it yourself. Or it didn't make sense. I was very logical. It didn't make sense that you would tell me that I cannot achieve something because you're incapable of achieving that. So I don't care how my situation looks. I don't care how it looks, how the journey looks. It's like I did not care how the journey looks. Moving, reaching that destination, I didn't care. Reaching my destination, I didn't care. I just believed that it was possible. And that's all I needed. But no one told me it's all I needed. I just knew that. It's all I needed to believe. If I believe that I can be X, Y, and Z, if I believe that I can build a legacy and become one of the world's greatest legends, baby, it's possible. And you can't step to me. You can't step to my dream. Don't try to crush my dream. I don't want to hear it. That's just how I was. I didn't want to hear it. You talking nonsense. Like, you talking nonsense. I don't want to hear that. Certain people I had to distance myself from because they did not see my dreams. They did not believe in my dreams. And you know what? That is okay, because that's why it was given to me in specific. It was never theirs. It was never to be understood by them because it was never given to them. That dream was never given to them. So it was never supposed to be understood by them. So long as I believed, that's all that mattered. So it's like I was put in many situations, whereas I had to choose certain company over my beliefs and where I see myself 10 years from now, 20 years from now, things as such. And I chose my dreams when there was nothing tangible to confirm that it was even possible. There was no tangible evidence, no physical evidence that this was possible in my life. Being as poor, being as unfortunate, there was no physical evidence. But for some strange reason, I believed. I said, I'm gonna make it happen. Nobody made it happen. Oh, here's one. No one ever made it that far. You can't do this. You can't do that. No one has ever. That right there. No one has ever. And my response would always be, I'm gonna be the first. Oh, no one ever. I'm gonna be the first. I'm gonna be the first to do this. I'm gonna be the first to do that. And I've always had. So that played a major role in my life. My vision, the vision of my future, played a major role in my life. It really did. So we're backtracking back to the lifestyle. We're going to discuss now intercourse and abortions intercourse and abortions. Intercourse was not allowed. Intercourse was not allowed unless you're married. You understand? Like, you cannot have intercourse unless you marry. And if you have intercourse with someone, the punishment was they would shave your head. You would have to wear, as a woman, you have to wear a white headfall of shame for however period of time, I don't know. And then they would have you, learn different teachings from the priesthood or the different. They had several women who they were a group. They were in the irony. They were entities. There are entities within a community. You have the CFF, the chosen first fruit, and then you have the women of valor, and then you have it's like a level up. Every step is different, right? So you have the ones who were like really, they were crowned. They were a part of leadership. So these particular women, they were over the dress code. Okay, so the women who would have sex out of marriage, things like that, or would have children out of wedlock. I myself, I experienced a child out of wedlock, but it was not what that experience was like. I'll get to that another time. All right, we not. I'm gonna get to that. My first child, but that was not a child at a wedlock situation. That was actually a rape situation. You know, and I kind of got punished, but I didn't find out later on until like last year June that my son is from that night. That's when it hit me. And it's like, wow, like, really, yeah. Okay, so anyway, well, I'm already here, so I'm just talk about it. I was 15 years of age. I was drinking with my homeboys, so I thought they were my homeboys, and I was new. I was new to drinking. I lost my virginity like a week prior to. Well, I thought I lost my virginity a week prior to, but coming to find out, well, later on in life, I came to find out my virginity was taken prior, during my early years. But anyway, um, that night I was hanging with some people, some peer, some. My son's father's like 2 years older than I. There was him and like several other guys, and I was drinking with them. I was new to drinking. I drank too much. That following, I drank too much. I got memories back from that. My son's father was the first person who had sex with me. I was on the ground. I was wearing white, and he was the first one to have sex with me. He's the only one that I remember. Him, and then after I was taken upstairs, and then I was literally raped by someone else. That was like, I recall that. I was in the room sleep, and all the boys were in the room, in the living room, and the guy came in, put his hand on my mouth, told me to shut up, bitch, slapped me. And I blacked out. I woke up and it was, semen all over me. Now I did not find out what happened. Oh, I woke up after that situation. When I saw that on me, I was freaked out. I ran to the living room and I told my son's father. I was scared. I was crying. I told him like, this guy just raped me. He pulled his dick out in front. Oh, I'm sorry. He pulled his penis out in front of everyone and said, "Shut up, bitch, and suck my dick." Those very words. I started crying even more. I went to sit on a couch it was another couch, like one of those small couch for one individual. I went to sit on that, and I just cried, and I went to sleep there. But the next morning, I found out what happened with the other guys, and like from that standpoint, I found out by someone I considered a close friend that 5 guys ran a train on me. Well, 4 guys ran a train on me, and after that experience, because my son's father was the first, that's when the pregnancy occurred. And after, I was like so lost in my head, like I was just like really messed up mentally, to the point where I literally went back to him and started having, we had an affair. So I thought my son came from that, from the affair. But no, I estimated the time as well. So it was exactly, yeah. I never did before because I never wanted to look back at, like really, I have looked back at it, but I never really thought that it happened. But it just came as an epiphany, so I had to. This was last year when things began to come, just epiphanies, random epiphanies, and that hit me. So when I estimated the time is when I found out that, wow, my son is from that, experience. So due to that, I was pregnant out of wedlock. After that experience, word got out that I had sex with 5. I willingly, rumor had it that I willingly had sex with 5 men. I was just 15 years old. But I had sex with 5 men a week after I supposedly lost my virginity. And that rumor spread it. You know, no one looked into it to see what really happened. Nothing. But I was punished for being pregnant out of wedlock. My head was shaved. I mentioned, yeah, I mentioned I was 15. I was definitely in school, but my head was. Then I was taken out of school due to a pregnancy. My head was shaved. I would had to wear a white headphone, and I was unable to talk to anyone in the community for a year. I was on house arrest for a year, and I would have these classes, these sessions with the priest as well, talking about bullshit and talking about a damn thing. I still don't know what the fuck they were talking about, but yeah, it was horrible. I was like, I was pretty much shunned, you know, and my hair was so long, and it began to grow too. I was pissed off. My father's the one who shaved my head, you know. He shaved my head because he was following instructions. So he said that's anyway. So that situation occurred, right? So that's just an example of what they do with what they did then with people who would conceive out of wedlock. But um, I believe that they did know that that was from that night. I believe they did know that, especially my mom. She knew that my son conception was from that night. She knew everything about me. Everything I did not tell anyone, she knew. So she knew that. You understand? But her being her, as vindictive and whatever, she loved that. She just loved that experience, to watch me go through that. You know what I'm saying? To experience that. But you know, that was another experience. That was actually with my first son. Now that I'm on topic, when I reached the age of 16, I returned back to school. Finished 1 year. No, I stayed home 15, 16. I returned back to school when I was 17. I finished my last year. We will discuss that another time. Okay, so growing up, they would have these sessions for the young feminine, you know, the young daughters. They would have these sessions of that would pretty much teach you how to be a woman or ladylike or you know, virtuous. So they would teach us how to be virtuous, you know, and this consisted of cooking, cleaning, crocheting, sewing, taking care of home, anything and everything that has to do with home. They taught us about our period. Let me tell you about the menstrual cycle. When a woman was on her menstrual cycle, according to the biblical, laws, a woman who is on her menstrual cycle is unable to be. She must separate herself from the village, like the people of the village. You cannot sit, and then we would have a cloth that we had to sit on. Like what the heck is that? A cloth. Everywhere you go, you have to carry this cloth and sit on it, so everyone else can know that you are leaking blood. So we were unable to go inside of the kitchen. We were unable to cook, be around food, period. We were unable to be around food. We cannot sit at the table with the family. It's like we had to separate ourselves from the household because we were, as they say, unclean. How wicked is that? A woman who has no control over her body and what happens within her body, you know what I'm saying? Being separated like that. So anyway, we learned about menstrual cycles as well, and we learned about we were taught about sex, but it was nothing like what it really is. You know what I'm saying? The exchange, the energetic exchange, and that bond and that purity. It was just never that. You know what I'm saying? That to the point where like we like honestly, if I would have been taught about demonic, if I would have been taught about demonic, no, sexual demonic demons. For those who do not know, sexual demonic demons are demons that are attached to a person, that they attach themselves to you through intercourse with someone else. So if this person has sexual demons from someone else, when you encounter with this person sexually, you will those demons will attach themselves to you as well, and it will cause all type of mental damage and mental instability in your mind, mentally and spiritually, even physically. Your entire appearance change. People say I look different now. Yes, because no demonic entities or sexual demonic entities are attached to me anymore. But we weren't we weren't taught about that. But had I been taught about that, or cleansing from demonic entities? How do you cleanse your soul from demonic entities? Growing up, there was no such thing. Oh, she slept with X amount of people. She doomed for life, is what I was told. No, I'm not. Look. Once I got to a certain age, I knew. I made up in my mind that I'm gonna defeat whatever it is that's holding me back. You understand? I said I'm gonna defeat whatever this thing is holding me back. Or I felt it like something is on me. Like I literally felt it. But I made that conscious decision to beat it. And although I did not know what I was battling, it's like I'm gonna still defeat you. You're not gonna defeat me. You know what I'm saying?